Okay, this is going to be a very short but poignant piece because we're talking about a very emotional part of the Torah, an incident that happens in Parshat Pinchas, and the Midrash gives a backstory which makes it even more dramatic. Of course, talking about the story of Pinchas, and this is entitled "The Spear of Pinchas Was Dripping with Irony." So you know the storyline itself in the Chumash is that Bilam had given this advice in the previous parsha to try to destroy the Jewish people. He, of course, tried by cursing them. That didn't work. But at the end of his advice was to use promiscuous women to be sent from Midian and then get them to be involved in promiscuous activities and even idol worship. So, of course, the last week's parsha ends where you have someone from a head of a tribe who's having relations with the princess of Midian. In other words, the king of Midian, just to get the Jewish people to sin, is prostituting his own daughter, the princess of Midian. And now Pinchas comes in and he kills them both. Very dramatic. You can't beat that, but yet you can, because the Midrash says in just a few words something that takes it to a whole other plane. The Midrash says, V'zeh paratz geder shagadar aviv. This one has broken through a sort of moral protective fence established by his own father. Now we have to backtrack now to an earlier dramatic story, and you'll see how the Midrash connects them. If you remember the terrible story of the kidnapping and rape of Dinah. So when the brothers first found out, they were very upset. The pasuk says, "V'yichar lahem ma'od ki nevela asa b'Yisrael." They were very angry because a defilement had happened to the family of Jacob, which was essentially going to be the Jewish people, the Bnei Yisrael, literally the Jewish people. And what was this nevela? Shkov et bat Yaakov. Someone had relations against the will with the daughter of Yaakov. V'chein lo yaseh. This thing cannot happen. This cannot be. This cannot go unanswered, unmet. And later on, after the two brothers, Levi and Shimon, as you know the story, they killed out everybody. They had them get circumcision, and then when they were their third day, it was very painful. They killed them all out and saved their sister. And Yaakov was worried about the repercussions, and they said in very, very dramatic terms, very graphic terms, to defend themselves against their father's criticism. They said, "Hakazona yaset achotenu." Do you want to make our sister into a prostitute? To have her just taken and against her will? So now, let's connect everything. Going back to that phrase I mentioned before, V'zeh peretz geder shagadar avi. So who is this that made this moral fence that shouldn't be violated? Of course, that is Shimon and Levi. They did everything. They put their lives on the line to defend the honor of the sister and honor of the family. They made a moral wall saying you should never cross this wall. And in our story, who is Shimi, the prince of the tribe of Shimon? The one who's having relations with this princess from Midian, promiscuous relations, which is bringing mass plague of death upon the Jewish people. Who is this person who's doing it? It is none other, the Midrash proves, and the Gemara says as well, than the son of Shimon. The same Shimon who rescued his sister along with his brother. The same Shimon who, after his sister had a baby, he married his sister just as to shield her from the shame and give her a chance to start a life again. And they had a child together. And that child was Shimei, this same person who's doing this promiscuous act. This was the son of Shimon, who acted so heroically because of the promiscuity that was thrust upon his own sister. And now he's endangering the whole Jewish people with his promiscuity, his own son. Wow, that is the drama that the Midrash brings into the picture. And of course, how does this all end? Well, the first story with Dinah, you had two brothers who together put their life on the line to save Dinah, kill out the members of Shechem, and rescue her. And now you have someone from that same tribe, Levi, who is Pinchas, after all. Pinchas is from the tribe of Levi. He has to kill somebody from this tribe of Shimon, the head of the tribe of Shimon, because he was Poretz Geder. He broke this wall of morality that his own father established. So the Midrash brings us this dramatic backstory to a dramatic story. Have a great Shabbat.